Hey, attention crypto gossipators, things are about to get interesting. Remember, not financial advice.
What is up? I hope everyone is doing well. I hope everyone's having an amazing day because I am as usual. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So we are on our favorite forum, Reddit, ready to tackle the big questions. Okay, so there's a question for everyone. What are your predictions on this movement with the news on the banks and Bitcoin moving? So this user says, so I've been following the bank collapse and seeing everything moving up as me thinking, are we heading for another big down very soon? So I'm coming here to see what y'all thinking is going to happen in the following days. Someone says, like always, sell your bags. Couple weeks, months later, that coin does it 2 times. Something will happen some way, time frame soon. So let me just put it in very simple terms for you guys, because there aren't that many comments on this post, but that is fine because I know exactly what is going to be happening here. Now, as you know, we had that Silicon Valley Bank collapse. Okay, a lot of people panicked because the bank and the government were putting up the interest rates. Bank sold a lot, and then people started panicking. Well, basically, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but you can do your own research. But let me just explain to you the most important point here. In situations like this, it's very likely that the US government will intervene, and they have already promised to subsidize everyone's lost money. Everyone's money will be safe, okay? Because a lot of people were saying that it is going to be lost, but no, the US government is going to intervene as quickly as possible to avoid a dominoes effect. And yeah, it's a bit annoying, anything that happens in the US, the whole world economy responds. Very sensitive, but it is part of the game. It's how the game works. You put the US at the top, whatever happens in the US, there'll be big movements, and that will affect everything: currency, stocks, cryptos. So what we could potentially be seeing here is a dip for the cryptos, okay? But the government is going to try and prevent this from escalating further. So undoubtedly, you are going to see the US government pumping a lot of money into these banks, trying to keep everything afloat. But the panic could potentially, this is the worst case scenario for some, okay? Will hit everything very hard, so you're going to see massive dips. But for others, actually not a bad scenario, because this is just going to create another invitation to load up your bags, because right now we're still in beta for Shibarium. So whatever happens right now, it doesn't really matter. I mean, how high it can go or how low it can go, it's all irrelevant for us, because what we're waiting for, that final piece of Shibarium, that is what really matters. So as of now, what can I say? Things are getting very interesting, okay? Things are pumping. A lot of activity is going through, and I believe that very soon we will be seeing recoveries, okay, happening, and that will only create a situation where people can profit from. So now it's a dip, then there'll be a recovery, because everything has to recover eventually. I mean, remember back in the days with 2008 crash. I mean, everything recovered afterwards, right? Well, I know that some banks were eliminated, but economy had to recover. So we did see good times later on. So this is simple as that. It's pretty much another invitation for us to load up, to see very cheap prices, if that's what's going to happen. Okay, this is one case scenario, and then things will recover and we'll be back on track. Simple as that. But the worst case scenario would be if the whole economy, starts getting affected, and there's a dominoes effect. We see many banks collapsing, big news, and that could just take more time, okay? And perhaps, developers won't be that confident releasing the final piece of Shibarium if the markets are too low. So they need some time for things to recover. So, if bad things are happening, hopefully they can just happen over these weeks, and then it can all stabilize, because we need a very smooth landing. So think of it, think of Shibarium as an airplane in the sky, and it needs to land. Okay, so the landing is a very difficult part, but you know, most of the times it's going to be smooth, and we are looking for those perfect weather conditions, for the perfect you know, landing track. And I think that will be the moment, okay, the right moment. So hopefully this whole economic situation doesn't spread, because the US government is going to do everything in its powers to prevent it. You know, if that means replacing and you know, pumping money into it and giving everyone their lost money, whatever it is, they got it, okay? Because they don't need a dominoes effect. They will try and obviously put out the news that everything is very stable and that things are going well. And I think this time they will, like I've said, take action to avoid a catastrophe. Okay, that is the most important part. So we're going to see a lot of activity, them being very active. All that put together is very likely to happen. But another extremely important point that I want to, you know, put out there for you guys to understand is that regardless of the conditions, the layer 2 solution is very powerful. Okay, that's something that you are going to see a lot of movement once it comes out. So a lot of people purchasing bone, loading up, a lot of people selling. It's going to create a lot of activity, because bone's going to have to be used as gas fee in every single transaction. So you can just imagine the amount of demand for it, the amount of power it will hold. So it's something to consider, okay, in the future, the type of utility that it will have. And if it has such a strong utility, perhaps it could just, you know, overcome any external circumstance. Okay, so yes, it's nice to release it on a very healthy economic environment. People have more money, there's less panic, people are more confident, you know, to give away or spend their money, put it this way. But either way, I think, you know, regardless of the economic conditions, you're going to see a lot of investors still trying to take opportunity of it, okay? Because yeah, bad economic conditions can affect certain groups, markets, individuals, but it doesn't mean that everyone has zero in their pockets. It just means that people are just a little bit more careful. But if it's such a great, you know, utility, Shibarium, why not spend? Why not spend? If you know that this is what is going to make you more money in the future, then the confidence is still high. It's just people are spending less, like say for example on luxuries, on things that they perhaps don't need that much. But on this, still a massive you know, massive solution for the future. This is life-changing for the whole crypto space, so take that into account. But either way, guys, if you have any thoughts, let us know down below in the comment section. How do you believe you know, this whole movement with banks collapsing, how's that all gonna affect us? And don't forget to subscribe, hit that notifications bell, like, share, all that good stuff matters. And guys, I will see you in my next video. Peace out.